Okay, guys, so this is gonna be a long video, but basically, what and I'm kind of skipping some of the steps because I want to show you. Remember, I just started sewing, so I'm not the best yet. So here you could see, like I said, I skipped some steps, but this is the gonna be the outer lining. So this is a 13 point, no, sorry, 12.5 by 7. So the 12.5 is the long part, and then the 7 is from edge to edge. So here I actually messed up, because I've been trying to follow some TikTok videos, of tutorials, and I'm not the best at following those videos. I get confused because there's some pieces missing, and it's more of like, I guess, common sense, or if you know what you're doing when it comes to sewing. So since I'm just starting, I made some mistakes. So the first mistake I did, but this is just me not paying attention, is I sewed the pocket wrong. Now the tutorial that I saw doesn't have a pocket, so I wanted to add a pocket, so I had to go to a separate video to do that. But anyways, so I'm gonna unsew this, and then I'm gonna sew it right. Now the pocket part on the video, since I didn't do my research before doing it, I didn't like that this part. Before I did this, it was raw, so it was showing. So like when you would open the pocket like that, you could see the raw part, right? So I went ahead and like folded it and sewed it. That way it's gonna show clean, right? So now once I do that and I fix it, I'm gonna make the pocket. Now, like I said, I was lost because this is the outer, and then this right here is the lining. So now this right here is the, okay, so I was able to fix the pocket. So this is my plan. Hopefully it works out. So I'm doing it like this because once I'm finished sewing it, right, I'm going to invert it, and it'll be like a pocket. So hopefully with the clips it works, but because I clipped it all the way on top. But let me see if I can. Sometimes that's why people like the pins, I guess. But so let's see if I can pretend to flip, right? So if I were to flip it inside out like this, and again, it's not perfect because of the clips, but if I were to flip it inside out, it would be a pocket, and the seams would be hidden. So I want to try that. Now, my other thing after I finish that is this part right here. I was thinking of doing the lining on here, uh, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm trying to remember from the instructions. Oh, and then on this one, I wanted to do the lining on here as well, right? So it'd be like lining on lining, like this. So because it's supposed to look something like this. So what they do on the video is they, and again, I'm gonna see if I can tag the video because the videos are really helpful for people that can follow instructions, or can kind of understand a little bit more. Since I'm fairly new to it, like I said, I feel like I'm missing some steps. I did message them, but I know some people are not always on their phone, or they have things to do. So anyways, so here I was thinking of doing lining with lining. So what they do is they put this one right here, this big one, they put it inside here, and then they invert it, like, because they leave an opening over here. So that's what I was thinking of doing. So I'm going to sew it. Now this part, this one right here is actually a napkin. It's a cotton napkin. So I cut it out, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to sew it and leave the gap opening here. But what I also wanted to do, because my other problem that I have is that these edges show whenever it's on the sleeve. Like what they do is they sew this side panel all around, right? Like when they're done. But then this part, they show this that you're supposed to sew it, but they don't show you how. And I did see another video of somebody partially doing one without the flaps, just like this one, right? And they go in the with the machine and they kind of somehow sew it, but it's like really hard because of the flap. So I don't know if I should, how can I do it? Because this is a flap. So maybe what I can do is first sew this also, kind of like what I did with the pocket, like fold it like this, like hem it, right? Like this. So whenever it's on here, it's already like that. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna try that and see how it goes. So I might not be able to show everything on this video because it is 10 minutes, but it's still kind of hard. So I'm gonna try again. These are just like trial and error things for me. So hopefully it works out. Hopefully. But we'll find out. So I'll let you guys know. I'm gonna stop the video here because I'm gonna sew this. And what I'll do is I'll do another video when I'm done sewing all the panels, and then I'll let you know. Or you know what, let me pause it real quick. Oh, I forgot to mention, so here on the sewing for the pocket, I'm going to sew it 1/8. So from right here from the edge, I'm gonna sew it all around, and I'm gonna do well, not all around, right? Because remember, you have to leave this open because of pocket. But from this side all the way here, here, and then here up to here, not sewing this part right here because this is the pocket. I'm gonna sew it 1/8 apart. So I'm gonna do that real quick. Okay, so here you could see where I sewed the pocket like I told you. So now I'm going to invert it. Now remember, it's the outer lining is going to be facing the batting right here, or the interface. So that way when I flip it inside out, let me see. I'm trying to get like the corners real quick, but now this is gonna probably be several parts to it. But again, this is my first time doing this, so we'll see how it comes out. So right here, I don't like this part right here, this corner. I don't know why the corners do that, maybe the inseam part, but so you could see here where the corners are done here. Now whenever you put stuff inside the pocket, you're going to be able to see the lining here, and you're going to be able to see the outer lining. So you know what I mean? So now you're not gonna see this part right here. The only thing I don't like is this part, but it's not a big deal because it's a pocket. So it's going to be something like this. So now let me get to the other part. So the next part that I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be sewing the lining, the inner lining here, onto the to this part right here. It should be about the same size. So that's my next part that I'm gonna be doing. So I'm gonna sew that part right there. And then the other thing that I'm gonna be doing is doing this one as well. So this one, I'll probably do it this way, like I said, so to hide the the outer or the inner batting here, or inner facing. So I'm gonna do that real quick. So go to part 2 for this because it's gonna take me a little bit, but so I'll go ahead and do that on the next part.